Hello Take Action team, I hope everyone is having a cracker week. Today we're going to be talking about one of the massive sturdy foundations of mindset. So today the main thing we're going to go over is personal responsibility. Now this is by far one of the most important things. This is going to be the difference between you losing a few kilos at the start or gaining a bit of muscle and then reverting back to old habits, or you sustaining these results for life. So I really want you to pay attention to this video and really action what we are talking about today. Personal responsibility is just complete, undeniable ownership. So whenever something comes up, whenever you make a mistake, whenever you don't track your food, miss a gym session, not blaming anyone but yourself, taking full responsibility. This is going to be key. And I've found that the first thing we naturally do when something goes wrong is blame someone else. What's the first thing you do if you're late to work? Sorry, my alarm wasn't working. Sorry, there was traffic. We're blaming. What's the first thing you do if you skip a gym session? Oh, sorry, the kids kept me up all night. Me and my partner had an argument. I didn't sleep. I got held back at work. You blame. You never take full responsibility. This is going to be the first thing that you need to adjust moving forward. If you skip a gym session, that's fine, but don't blame. Just take ownership. Just say, you know what? I didn't make the gym today. I probably could have woken up earlier to get into the gym, but I didn't. Tomorrow I will. Or if you got Macca's a few nights in a row or got Uber Eats a few nights in a row, don't blame your busy schedule to say, look, I didn't set aside enough time on the weekend to prep my food for the week. That's on me. There's always going to be a time when you're busy. There's always going to be a time where work gets hectic. You know, your family member might be sick. You and your partner might be having issues. Your kids might be sick. Whatever the issue might be, it's always going to come up. But it's important to note that that's just part of life. It's never going to change. You're never going to have more time. Work's never going to slow down. There's never not going to be something going on in the background. Most people, I'd say all people, have some form of issue going on, whether it's their own health, their family members' health, an issue with their partner, an issue with their kids, an issue with their job. Majority of people have something else going on. But when it comes to your work, you're more than happy to, kick yourself up, brush off the dust and get back into it. But when it comes to your training, that always seems to get pushed to the side. You need to flip the switch because you need to start making your health and your mental health a priority, because that's going to benefit your work. That's going to benefit your partner, your friends, your family, because you're going to be healthier and happier. The small short-term sacrifice now of doing 30 minutes of training a day, setting aside a couple hours on the weekend to prep your food for the week, is going to save you hours and hours of time in the future going back and forth to the doctor, save you thousands and thousands of dollars going back and forth to a specialist. It's going to give you more time to spend with your kids. You prioritizing your health now is going to be the difference between you being able to spend time with your grandkids, move around, run around with them, or be the grandpa or grandmother that's sitting down in a chair and can't move. Hate to break it to you, but that is how serious this is. And if you don't start prioritizing it now, it's going to be too late. And you're going to be the person sitting down in the hospital chair or the doctor's office and them telling you, hey, it's probably a good idea if you start exercising. You don't want to be that guy or lady. You want to get into the routine of it now. Majority of your results are going to come outside the gym. Majority of your results are going to be what you do on those days. So this is the difference between you, setting aside a couple hours on the weekend to do your groceries, get it done on a Sunday. It's going to be the difference between you setting your alarm early when you know you've got a busy day. If you've got a busy day coming up for work and you know you might be held back, you need to train in the morning. Common excuses that I hear. Number one, time. I don't have time to train. I don't have time to meal prep. First of all, meal prep saves you time. I do not care what anyone says. If you're someone that's going to the cafe every day or going through drive-through, if you add up how much time that takes over the course of the week, it is by far going to outweigh you prepping food for 2 hours on the weekend. If you say that you don't have time for the gym, I'm sorry, but you do. Every day you do. All you need is 30 minutes. You can do something. You can go for a quick walk. You can go to the gym for 30 minutes. It doesn't take that long. If you add up the amount of time you spend scrolling, if you add up the amount of time you spend watching Netflix every night, you do have time. You're just not making it a priority. You need to adjust your priorities, and then time is not going to be a problem. Tracking is another one. People say they don't have time to track. Honestly, it takes 5, maybe 10 minutes. If I asked you the question, would you set aside 5 minutes out of your day if I could guarantee you'd lose anywhere between 500 grams to a kilo a week? Would you do it? And you'd say, yes, of course. Well, this is that thing. If you track your calories accurately, you are going to lose 500 grams to a kilo a week, maybe even more. So do not make the excuse of no time. You're literally on your phone so much every day. It's always on you. It's always in your pocket or in your hand. There's no excuse not to track. You don't need to do it forever. But if you want a goal in this say 10, in the next 10 to 16 weeks, you need to make sure you're consistently tracking. Once we get there, we'll start working on how to intuitively eat and follow a bit more of a sustainable approach to your diet. I feel like training all the time, but it's important you do these things. You need to keep it consistent because motivation is going to come and go. There's going to be times when you feel like training, when you feel like prepping, but you need to build the discipline to do it when you're not motivated. You need to come up with strategies for yourself. What works for you? Make it as easy as possible. I find sometimes people get a little bit too complex with the nutrition, try and do way too much. You need to start with the bare minimum. What can you keep consistent when you're feeling like shit? What can you do when you're not motivated? If you can get a good baseline, follow that every single week. This is what's going to set you apart. It's a little bit hard to hear, I know, and it's a little bit full on, I understand, but this is what is necessary to get you the result you want and keep it for life. No more excuses, no more bullshit, no more stuffing around. This is what's going to set you apart from the person who's just done intermittent fasting, or the person who's tried keto and gone up and down, or cut out sugar for 4 weeks, or done F45 or boot camps. You don't want to be like that person. You want to be the person who knows what they're doing. They're going into the gym with purpose. Eventually, you're going to be the person who doesn't need to live in MyFitnessPal. You're going to be the person who can look at a plate of food, know exactly what to eat, and keep the weight off that you've lost.